In the back room of a small bar in Toronto called the Transact Club, Evil Dead the Musical made its debut. And like the movie it was based on, it became a cult sensation. Tonight on Survive the Night podcast, we're talking Evil Dead the Musical.
There's something in this musty air makes us want to sing. Cabin in the woods, ooh. Cabin in the woods, yeah. We're 5 college students on our way to an old abandoned cabin in the woods. Oh, yeah!
All right, nice and quick, and we're back in here. We did it.
We did it.
Here.
We're here.
Yeah, we're here. This is going to be a weird kind of side talk, I guess, because this is not, in fact, a Sam Raimi production so much as it is based on the Sam Raimi production. We are going to be talking about Evil Dead the Musical.
Hell yes.
It sounds like we both just watched it. Like, I watched it about an hour ago, and I think you finished about the same time-ish.
Yeah, I finished like 30 minutes ago, something like that.
Right. Sure. So this is one that I have been wanting to see in person for a long, long time, and it just kind of never worked out. It's actually funny because I looked up if they were coming anytime soon, and yeah, this October there's going to be one in the city about 40 minutes away from me, so I might actually see if I can go do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go see. I'm going to quickly take a look to see if they're doing one near you. Do you know where Vineland, New Jersey is?
No.
I'm guessing NJ is New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
What about Red Bank?
It's in New Jersey. Off the top of my head, no. But New Jersey is not a large state.
Sure.
It's just I don't have a car.
Well, if you can get to Vineland, it's at the Landis Theater October 24th to 29th, so for that week, and it's in Red Bank, New Jersey, for 2 nights at the Vogel, October 20th and 29th. So you could also see it if you were so inclined or knew where that stuff was, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious, so I'm actually looking up Vinland. I hate when something can be pronounced like 2 ways. Vineland looks like it's actually near Philly, almost.
Yeah, Red Bank's way closer to me.
Yeah, I don't even see where Red Bank is. Vineland looks like in the middle south. It looks like maybe a few hours from Atlantic City from what I'm seeing on the map, if that means anything.
Yeah.
Atlantic City probably means something to you, because I mean, I've heard of Atlantic City, so...
Yes.
And yeah, I don't see Red Bank on here at all.
Atlantic City to gamble one time with friends.
Okay. Is that like a really far trip for you?
No, it was like a bus ride in the morning and then a bus ride at the end of the day.
Oh, okay. So honestly, it wouldn't be that bad to go to either of these, but yeah, I don't see Red Bank at all, so I have no idea where that is on here. Either way, at a city near you, I don't know. If you go to their Evil Dead the Musical site and you're curious, you can see for yourself. But for me, it's Lethbridge County is the one that's here in Alberta and close. Lethbridge is kind of a trendy hipster college town. It's known as the Windy City in Alberta. That's not even a joke. Known for their wind down there and their tech school of new media and arts, and that's where one Sean Booker from TDP fame went.
Oh man.
So he lived in Lethbridge for a long time. Gotcha. Meaning like 2 years or 4 or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's your geography lesson for today. I might go see this thing, especially after watching the musical. The best way you can watch anything, not even fully digital and like analog 360p rip of a fucked up tape of one of the original showings that was used as promo material in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
That's the version I watched, and I confirmed with you that is also the one you watched.
Yep. That's all I could find.
Instantly, I wished there was a better version. This was an absolute terrible version, and not even because of the VHS, not even because of the blown out color, the lighting that is just really hard to make out kind of what's going on until they do like a close up shot or whatever. Just the kind of bad quality in general on an HD TV. It's none of that. The big problem is they didn't fucking mic up the main character. What the fuck, man? Everybody else had mics on, and you could tell because they were, like, you could hear them throughout, and then they would blow out your fucking eardrums anytime they screamed, which is a lot, by the way, except the character that the dude that plays Ash didn't have anything, so you couldn't hear fuck all that he was saying, and he has the most speaking lines. Anyways, that's my big issue.
My audio was actually pretty okay. I could hear everyone fine.
Mine was absolutely... So I watched this on my TV. I don't know, a standard living room away from the TV, like nothing too big. I feel like if I had watched this at my computer with like earbuds, it probably would have been negligible. It would have been fine. It was not in the situation that I was watching it, and that's a bummer because I thought a lot of it was actually quite good just in general. Did you have any overarching thoughts just to start off?
I mean, Moose out of 10.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the particular file I found had the audio cleaned up a little or something, because I didn't have any problem with the sound balancing on mine, but I know the visual quality was the same VHS tape. It looked like it was ripped from.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to maybe see. This actually made me want to see. There's other, like, I don't know, recordings, rips, whatever you want to call them, of this on YouTube. One of them is a 2007 Off-Broadway cast, which sounds great. The only reason I didn't watch that one is because I started it and it's like filmed from the audience or whatever.
Gotcha.
So you don't get a great. The thing about the one we watched is that it was filmed by like the production company, so you get close-ups of the characters when they're doing specific things, or there's like a sight gag where the person playing Cheryl is reading Bruce Campbell's biography, like at the beginning of this or whatever, and they do like a zoom in so you can actually see what she's reading. Stuff like that makes the viewing experience for us better here. It's just that the quality was off for me.
Yeah, because it was for a VHS tape.
Yeah. So that's kind of a bummer, but it wasn't the worst. For me, it was the sound quality. If it was better sound quality, I would have been super, super in. Overall, as a musical, I think this is pretty funny. It adapts Evil Dead 1 and 2 into kind of one giant story that happens throughout the night, where Evil Dead 1 happens up to the point where basically all the friends are dead, and then Act 2 is after the intermission is Evil Dead 2 essentially, but like kind of not really, because there's Evil Dead 2 stuff sprinkled in with the first act as well. So it's just kind of a giant retelling of both.
Yeah, and they sprinkle in a bunch of one-liners from Army of Darkness.
Yeah, from all of them. It's every one-liner you can think of, it's in here.
Yes, they got all the one-liners in there.
They had a checklist and they hit them all. Yeah, yes. Which was actually kind of impressive how they did some of them. They even did kind of like the epilogue of Evil Dead 2, where he lands into the 1300s. I guess, like, as much as you can with a single stage play.
Yeah. It's still the cabin is still back there. Theater of the mind.
Totally. They do a good job enough of it. Like,
Yes.
anytime they're outside, they do the lights that make it look like moonlight going through tree branches, and it obscures the back enough. It's fine.
Yeah. And like, I'm having a good time. I'm willing to, I'm give myself over to what they're doing.
You definitely have to watch, like, I've seen a few stage musicals, I should say, because this is a theater stage musical. This is not a Sound of Music type musical when we say that, just to be abundantly clear in what you're getting used to or getting.
Yeah.
And yeah, you kind of just have to view it from a different mind state or whatever. The theater of the mind is 100% correct. I do kind of wish that this was a bigger production with maybe 1 or 2 sets more, because I just thought it'd be neat. But you don't need it or anything. I just thought I would have liked it personally.
Yep. What if you had one other set? What set would you want?
Yeah, so the other set I was thinking that you probably do is the basement. But the set I would want is just like an outside one with the bridge. I just want to see that fucked up claw bridge.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fair enough.
What if you could put one more in? Which one would you choose?
I think I would do the basement just because, like, we have a whole
thing,
fight sequence that's just people making noises from off stage.
Totally. Yep. I could see you getting away with like just a standard outside set with like a work shed as well. I could see that being good for a whole bunch of parts. But yeah, I think the basement is what you would do if you were going to do one more. So actually talking this through now, it's pretty clear that you do not in fact need another set.
No.
Because the one that you would get is basically just for a fight scene. Even though that's a pretty important part, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, if you had it, you would use it more, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know who is in this. I know it's produced by, or something by Just for Laughs. Do you know what Just for Laughs is, that company?
I have no idea.
Okay. So, this is a very Canadian thing. Just for Laughs is a comedy festival that happens in Montreal. And the reason why we know about it here is because when the comedy channels and stuff like that, I think even sometimes like the main TV things or TV channels got them when they were the big ones, they would have, the festival would happen and we would just see rerun after rerun of every comedian that was big or made it big, we saw appear doing like a set at the Just for Laughs comedy festival.
Gotcha.
And also they did a bunch of just weird like prank shows and stuff like that. And it's especially weird because the prank shows were just like very visually like visual gags or whatever, because it was all French, right? And we don't speak French in the West here. So it just had like music playing over them, basically doing slapstick gags and stuff like that. And I remember growing up just thinking, why aren't they like saying anything? And just being like, oh, because first of all, it's the style. But second of all, it's because you wouldn't understand it anyway. So it's whatever. So for me, it was kind of weird to see that. But then it made sense because I believe this musical was written by a Canadian that put it together originally. So It makes sense that he would have went through whatever Canadian channels he could have to get it produced.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. It has since been like, you can go to their site apparently and get the rights for your to do it in your city or with your troop or whatever. I don't know any of that stuff because I would never look into that stuff myself, but it has led to like this thing being spread around in different places and whatnot. A thing I found interesting, and we kind of see a little bit of that here also, is that this show has a splash zone warning where you are going to get splashed with blood if you're in it. And that makes sense because they definitely do the just like random blood shit in spots, which is pretty great. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm sure it's better now too because we watched the version that came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That happened 20 years ago, and this thing's still going on now. Okay. So, right from the get-go, the things we have to talk about is the songs, right? It's a musical. The thing that makes it a musical is, we've seen the story. The thing that makes us different is the way the actors play through it and the songs. And I have to be honest, I wasn't too impressed with a good handful of the songs in this. There were a few that I was just like, yeah, okay, that's funny, that's good. But some of them I felt were kind of lazy, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I thought it was just overall fine and nothing was that memorable. But it wasn't, I was never like, oh, this is fucking garbage. Except, by the end of the musical, I was really feeling like you ran out of material.
Yeah, so that's where it got bad for me too. Is the end. Do the Necronomicon was embarrassing in a way it shouldn't have been.
Yeah. It's called The Thriller. Let's see what you're doing.
Yeah. So it starts off pretty good. With Cabin in the Woods, where they're just like, we're just 5 students going to a cabin in the woods. Whatever. It's like, okay, that's stupid and funny. It's followed up with Houseware's Employee, which is Ash and Linda, and their whole song about how like how did a perfect girl fall for a houseware employee or whatever, or how did a houseware's employee fall for the perfect girl? So stupid. There's like some good writing in there as well. I really like at the beginning of this how often they're just told to join them. Just join us, like, consistently. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Good join us stuff. For sure.
So in this, it starts off with Ash, Linda, Scott, Shelley, and Cheryl. And they are definitely made into more teen stereotypes than they even are originally. Ash,
1,000%.
Yeah,
they're all turned up to like 11 in terms of being a trope.
Yeah, Ash is like kind of immediately Ash in this. He's a little bit nerdy Ash for a bit, but like, I don't know. He's probably the most normal-ish character in this because
because they're immediately putting on the like S-Mart stuff from Army of Darkness onto that character.
Yeah,
just from the start.
And Linda's whole thing is that she's the girlfriend. Like that's literally her whole thing in this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she is also a relatively normal person in how she acts. And then it goes downhill. Scott is the biggest douchebag in the world. Just automatically the biggest douchebag.
Yeah. You really feel the written in 2003 with just how many times he says bitch. Just constantly.
Oh, yeah. So Cheryl is very much the like, I'm the stupid kid's sister who's tagging along that like they don't want me here and I complain about stuff, but that's not even too bad. What's her whole thing is Scott saying, "Shut up, you stupid bitch," or something like that, calling her a stupid bitch over and over again.
Over and over again.
It's like the Family Guy, like everybody's mean to Meg for some reason. It's that, essentially.
Yes. It's extremely early 2000s humor.
I'm gonna be real. The first time he said it, I actually thought it was funny. Every subsequent time, I was like, yeah, I got it. You ruined your joke.
Yeah, they just did it too much.
The first time I found it pretty funny. I was just like, shut up, you stupid bitch, or something like, oh my God, all right. And then it just happened over and over. And Shelly's a whore. That's literally her thing. She even like has a song where she's saying when she goes evil, she like sings about how she's now like an evil dead slut, essentially. Not just like a normal one or something. I don't know. She's just a whore. The funny thing there is that nobody has any connection to her, and that's like super true in the original thing too. Like she definitely felt like kind of the outsider, because it very much was Scott is Ash's friend, Linda is his girlfriend, Cheryl's his sister, and Shelly's here.
And then Scott kills her when she becomes a demon, and that's the end of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they play it up pretty good too, where he's like, Ash is afraid to shoot her or whatever, and Scott's like, you don't even know her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good shit. Whoever plays Cheryl in these, like in this version, she was very, very good. But I think if you're going to play Cheryl in this play, you have to have some pipes on you, though. She does some belting.
Yes. For sure.
And yeah, I really, really liked what they did with Cheryl. They kind of just made her every monster, essentially. Because, yeah, I guess what else? It makes sense. Why would you have a, oh my God, what's her name? A Henrietta. If, like, why would you have a basement monster if you already have a monster you throw into the basement, right?
Like, it's like, yes, it would make more sense if that had been Cheryl in Evil Dead 2 instead of Henrietta.
Totally.
Like, just would have been more compelling, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, because nobody cares about Henrietta has no basis in anything. Yeah. So I thought the way they use Cheryl, I really, really liked in this. Everybody else is kind of a background player, and they all have their moment, I guess. Cheryl has the tree moment, only she gets like hugged by a group of trees and it goes black, and it's like, yeah, that seems appropriate. I guess. Yeah. That's fine. She does have the like moment of screaming to shut it off or whatever with the tape playing and like the little freakouts and all that sort of stuff. I really like her "It Won't Let Us Leave" song. I thought it was pretty good. And then the next song, like after all that, and she turns, is "Look Who's Evil Now," and she just starts like, she just stabs a pencil randomly into Linda. It, like, gets her off the. I really like how they just did all of that stuff. That I thought every time Cheryl was on screen was one of the highlights of this whole thing for me. I really liked her.
Totally. She was very good. They gave her that character, that role, a lot of meat.
Yeah, which I'm glad, because I really thought at the beginning that they did her dirty. Like, she was really
totally.
Yeah, she was done dirty at the beginning. So I'm glad that she
like you compare like her as a normal person, you compare that to the original role, you're like, oh man, that's a fucking hit job.
Yeah.
But you know, giving her all the Henrietta meat
totally
makes it a much more fun role, and a bunch of good song stuff too.
Yeah.
And like a lot of range.
Totally. Like, you can definitely, you need a person who's good in that role.
Yes, 100%.
So the "Look Who's Evil Now" thing is pretty great, because it's just like the women like being evil and like it's just great. But I really like that after their part's done, Scott and Ash have their song. What the fuck was that? Yeah, all the beginning stuff I found really, really good.
Yes.
In this
yeah,
thing.
I think the songs in Act 1 are just stronger.
Yeah.
Overall, for sure.
Yeah. I don't remember Join Us, that song, really, but I'm sure it was okay. The one I want to call out here is Good Old Reliable Jake. Holy shit. So Jake is the hick from Evil Dead 2, in case people just need a quick reminder, who is it Bobby Joe? Is his
Bobby
wife?
Joe! Bobby Joe!
First of all, there is a great line of like, well, I was supposed to be walking here with my wife Bobby Joe, but having her here would be redundant or whatever.
Yes. We already had a woman get attacked in the woods.
Yeah, so
that role is filled.
Yeah, I thought that was great. That is a great just little gag. And then there's the whole like he can get them to the cabin song, essentially, where how do you think all this stuff has happened? It's because of good old reliable Jake, and it had very big the Stonecutters song type thing. Where it's just like Jake does everything for people or whatever. Yeah, that song was just great. I really, really enjoyed it. That role is great too. Yeah, he was super, super good. That's kind of where like Act 2 ends-ish. Well, it ends with Ash cutting off his hand. Because of course it does.
Yeah.
And yeah, Act 2's songs are pretty bad. So I'll just quickly give you the list in case you don't have it up. It's Bit Part Demon. All the men in my life keep getting killed by Kandarian demons. Do the Necronomicon. It's time and hail to the king.
Yeah.
Every song here is bad. Hail to the king is okay as a finisher, but I also don't think it's that strong.
I agree.
So, Bit Part Demon is probably the best out of these, and it's literally just Ed saying how like he never got a talking role and everybody forgets he's there. And I mean, that's true. I always forget that character is there in Evil Dead 2. It's the chauffeur boyfriend or whatever of Annie, for people who also don't remember, just as a heads up. And I like that he's like, now that he's a demon, he has a talking role and he's doing a song, and then it just gets cut short by getting shot. Like, I thought that was a pretty good gag.
He's a
all the men in my
gag.
Yeah. all the men
in my life keep getting killed by Kandarian demons. It's just bad.
It's bad.
It sounds bad.
It's
the phrasing is bad.
Yep. It's super fucking stupid. Do the Necronomicon is embarrassing. It's so bad.
Yeah, that one's pretty cringe.
Yeah. You know, if it Homer is saying it's pretty cringe, it's real bad. every part about that was, and it sucks because that's kind of the end. Like, it's not the actual end, but
I mean, that's supposed to be the big demon like war party or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
Yeah. I don't remember its
and
time.
They don't have, and it's like, just, they didn't, like, that one just needed more work. Like, they didn't come up with good dances. Just like, do the Necronomicon, you know, the Thriller. Or you throw a lasso? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't remember its time. So, at all. So, whatever. And Hail to the King is... Yeah. It's Hail to the King is fine, but by that point I was checked out, kind of. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Fun.
Those last two, there's like some good staging of stuff. It's like the thing they thought out clearly was like how the demons and Ash are going to be like posed, but they didn't
put
enough work into the music that went along with that.
Actually, that's true. visually, the choreography and stuff is definitely much more of a play in Act 2, where it's kind of like, I don't know, a retelling of every event up until then, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it feels more like a play in Act 2 with bad music. And that sucks, but I don't know. It's still watchable. Like, it's still okay, I think.
Yeah. It just feels unfinished.
It does.
In the back half, which is honestly, like, this is not the first musical I've felt that way about.
Yeah, like, they just don't know how to.
Yeah, the Act 2s are harder for songs.
So, fun fact for you. We watched the 2003, I don't know, like, original edition or something.
Yeah.
There is a different set, well, an updated set for 2006 and on. So we watched the, like, prototype, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, Act 1 is pretty much the same. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, it is almost exactly the same. The only difference is they do a reprise of Houseware Employee. So that's great, I suppose. Act 2, however, has 2 new songs that we did not see. One called Ode to an Accidental Stabbing, which features Jake and Annie. Lord only. Oh,
that's
I totally
when she
know.
Stabs him with the canary dagger.
Yep. Okay. I kind of want to.
I guess he gets to sing a song.
Ode to an Accidental Stabbing is just a great name for a song. And then it kind of changes up. So Do the Necronomicon is there still, and It's Time is there. Apparently they also didn't think Hail to the King was that good, because that no longer exists. That's replaced by We Will Never Die by the Demons, and the final song Blew That Bitch Away by the Whole Company.
Great. They didn't say the word bitch enough.
So, yeah, and it's funny because I thought Hail to the King out of all of those other songs was like one of the more okay ones to end on.
And you know, even regardless of the song, I think that's the right idea to end the thing on.
Yes, for sure.
But Blow That Bitch Away seems like not the right idea to end it on.
Totally, yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. Anyways, so yeah, the music is kind of a bummer, kind of a letdown. I think it's okay. It
could have been so much worse.
All in all, it could have been so much worse. I've seen worse. Like,
yes,
that's the thing. I do wonder if you watched this and never even saw or heard of the original Evil Dead stuff, what your opinion of the story and the acting and the music would be. That's interesting to me. Anyways,
I feel like you would have some ideas about Evil Dead's coherence and it being like one thing that might be inaccurate.
Right. You would be right, because that series is not coherent.
I mean, they do a lot to like make things more one thing than Evil Dead is.
Totally, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, and we kind of touched on it, but are there any like standout cast characters?
Anything? I mean, the Moose is standout character.
So the Mooses, I was really surprised there was just a Muppet in this thing. That was kind of surprising. I can't remember anything the Moose really said, but
is that during like Look Who's Evil Now?
Yeah,
is that
probably.
what the Moose comes in on?
No, it's probably under Join. No, it's Join Us. Cheryl and Moose are credited with that one.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Join Us.
Yeah.
It's just so funny, that puppet with his googly eyes. Ah, so good.
The puns that Cheryl does, and oh
Yeah.
my god, it is actually insane how bad some of them get. Some references I didn't even catch on to. I can't remember them because I didn't know them when I heard them the first time, so I couldn't remember what they were.
Yeah. There's a line later of Annie's like, do all the demons rhyme like that? And it's just like, no, just her. Oh, that's the one you left alive, huh?
Yeah. There was actually, you know what? I gotta give it to them. The joke writing was pretty spot on for a lot of it.
It was. I was surprised at how good a lot of their bits were. Like, honestly, I got to the point where I'm like, you didn't have to use every one-liner.
Yeah, right.
like actually, some of your bits were just better than just straight doing the one-liner to do the one-liner. Again, some of their comedy less good, but some of them fit very well. That's true. But in the second half, I felt like they were stuffing some in.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I thought the good bad I'm the man with a gun fit really well.
Yeah,
that one's.
I mean, that line just fucking rules. That's such a good line.
Yeah, it just works. Honestly, the way they fit in "Hail to the King" worked as well. Mm-hmm. But I mean, of course it did, because they put him into a time when kings existed. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it was that kind of bugged me, but I don't remember.
Okay, what are some of the Evil Dead one-liners? We'll figure this out live on podcast, because that's the best way to do anything, is when other people are listening.
There's this is my boomstick.
That one is terrible, actually.
Yeah.
He literally just screams it at was it Cheryl, I think?
Basically, yeah. That's who he was aiming at. And he gives the whole speech about the price of the gun and stuff for me. Like, it's the whole spiel.
It's kind of funny because he gives that whole spiel there, but it does not fit at all.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, "Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants" doesn't really fit as well. Even though that line can fit, it just feels contrived when they put it in there.
Yeah.
I thought the "you got real ugly" fit okay, because I mean that was his girlfriend.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, yeah. He's like,
that one
you
worked.
worked that in. Yep.
That one worked.
For how much they like to use "bitch," I'm a little surprised they didn't do "yo, she bitch, let's go" or anything like that in there.
True.
Because that would have fit. Maybe they did. I just didn't notice because my audio was terrible.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either. I feel like I was pretty on with finding all that stuff. He said the "who's laughing now" thing.
He did.
Yeah. It's really the boomstick one. I remember.
Yes, that's definitely the part of the movie where I was like, okay, guys.
Yeah, I thought the groovy was good. Just yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was just good. I guess I don't have really anything much more to say about The Thing as a play. This definitely has the problem of this is meant to be seen in person and feel the energy of the room and not only the crowd but the players there in front of you. The way we saw it is the worst way you can actually see this type of medium. Well, I guess besides just listening to it, that would be worse.
Yeah.
I really, really do want to see this thing live. And just as a small aside, This is cool that this came from Canada. We don't have a lot of stuff. So like I really like when somebody here does something that is really cool and gets like some attention, even though it's a contrived version of something that has a huge cult following, but you know, whatever.
1 point for Canada.
Woo! On the board. Yeah. This I want to see other renditions now really bad though of some of these songs and see how things are different.
Sure.
I think this would be cool to see in like what is off Broadway mean exactly? Is that just like, I know it's not Broadway, but is that basically Broadway but like the side shows essentially?
I mean, like technically it's just supposed to be literally not on the street Broadway, on one of the streets off of Broadway.
But does it have the same like actual like good company, like theater companies working on it?
I mean, it depends.
Okay, yeah. That's
like there are off Broadway stuff that's fucking better than anything that's on Broadway, so
I like
it kind of depends.
The fact that this had an off Broadway show or run or whatever, like
yeah.
I think that would have been cool to see.
Totally.
It could be coming. It could come back, I'm sure, at some point too. Would you go see this in person?
Yeah, if I were, into going to see things in person.
Yeah.
But for sure.
Yeah. What about 4D experiences? I don't know what 4D is. I've been trying to kind of read what this is.
I mean, I fucking hate 4D. 4D is like, that's where your chair shakes and they put fog machines in the theater and they spray you with water in your face. And they put scents, they release scents into the room.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was accidentally in one of those theaters once and I like left with like 10 minutes with like an extremely elevated heart rate. Like I just had to fucking get out of there. I really took negatively to my experience with that kind of theater.
Is it just like sensory overload or is it just like annoyance that makes it bad?
Like both.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad.
I mean, if you want to see a man drown and then get spurted with water in your face, then it's the experience for you. It's really like the shaking.
In that?
No, I mean, I wouldn't want to see fucking any. Like, I don't want my chair to move.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. What about
like I don't want to be jostled
with blood?
Getting sprayed in the face with blood, I would probably rather not. But if you're in the splash zone, you're in the splash zone. It is what it is.
Uh-huh. Sure, that's fair. Apparently there was something that they were doing in 2019 on this, but I don't really know. I'm kind of trying to like on the fly find out some information to see this thing, if I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's like the worst time to possibly do it, but I think this is one that if I can, I'm going to go see this October. I think that would be really, really fun. I remember I can't remember. I think I've even told it on this series that we're doing. A friend of mine went to go see it and like, I was like super jealous and kind of pissy about it that I didn't go or wasn't invited or whatever. So I would like to fix that. And then here's the like kicker is I'm a little bit nervous that I'm going to go and I'm going to get like the B team. You know what I mean?
It's always a possibility. Or you get like, I mean, the real is you get the B actor in a key role.
Like
and
Cheryl.
You're just like, yeah. And you're just like, oh, this is such a bummer.
Yeah.
That just happens.
We got the understudy because the real Cheryl that plays this part got COVID. So now you get this person who hasn't been practicing and sucks.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Yeah. I thought this thing was fun though, like just in general. I
Yeah.
don't think I ever need to see this again. However, I do want to see different variations of it because that's kind of like seeing it again for the first time, which is kind of what makes this type of medium fun for people. And
Yeah,
me,
totally.
I guess. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. You have anything more?
I mean, I would be disappointed seeing a different production and the moose isn't as good.
Now,
I'd be disappointed.
Army of Darkness, the musical, you think better or worse, just theoretically, with the subject matter or whatever, and like getting a bunch of weirdos on a stage, a bunch of drama kids to act it out?
Worse? I don't think that. Like, I just don't think the characters in that lend themselves as well to the material. Like,
Sure.
like the thing. Part of what I don't know. I like the way that they just took the character. Like, they just turned up all the tropes of the characters. I thought was a really good idea for adapting this to the stage, to make all those characters like just one thing or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And the single cabin set of Evil Dead just works so well for a stage production.
Yeah, I don't think, like, Army of Darkness, this whole thing is some one-liners and quips and then kind of like a giant fight.
'Cause, like, you would have to figure out how to do like the little Ash thing, and you would have to figure out how to do the skeleton army fight.
Yeah.
There's just, it's so much more of Evil Dead is like production in that way.
Yeah, that's true, for sure. Yeah, I think I agree. Also, if somebody is listening to this and they are interested, just like look this shit up on Google or YouTube. It's literally that easy. The one we watched, I don't know if it's this exact same file or whatever, because it sounds like your audio was better, is literally just like Evil Dead the Musical original full version with 300 some thousand views.
Yeah.
So you can watch it that way. Maybe watch one with like some better production if you can, or like at least in 720p would be cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Probably not the best way to first experience the story, but you know, a fun alternative.
You'll just always be missing the moose.
Yeah.
Where's the moose? Where's the moose?
Anytime the moose isn't on the stage, everybody's got to ask, where's the moose?
Where's the moose?
Exactly. All right. Well, that was fun, but things are going to get super unfun. Not for us, because the movie's pretty good, but
I'm going to have a great time.
But for everybody involved, when we watch Evil Dead, the 2013 version, which is very much more a fucked up horror version of Evil Dead.
Yes. I'm all about it.
There is so much blood in this fucking movie. There's so much of it. If I remember, doesn't it just like rain blood? Like literally?
Yes. It's so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood, so stay tuned for that, and that'll be
these characters just have a bad time.
It's so rough. Yeah. This apparently doesn't have that high of a rating from users. I would have thought it'd be higher than 3 out of 5 because I think it's a bit higher than that.
There's a thing I find Evil Dead fans generally are not that high on it, on the remake.
Yeah, probably because
it's not silly. It's like as far away from Army of Darkness as you can be.
Yeah. It is very much like what horror is in the 2010s with that story, essentially. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I like
fine.
it.
Yeah, it's totally fine. We'll talk more about it once. I haven't seen it in,
Sure.
I don't know, at least 8 years, I guess now. So I'm excited to take a look at it again. But we'll be talking about that next time, so stay tuned.
Yeah, peace.
We're